Welcome to Love and Dialogue, the podcast where love speaks. I'm Tristan.
And I'm Breanna. We're so excited to have you join us as we explore the ups, downs, and all the in-betweens of relationships in all forms, whether it's with a partner, a friend, or family.
Whether you're here for heartfelt stories, honest advice, or just a good laugh, you're in the right place.
Relationships come in all varieties and dynamics, and we're on this journey together, sharing our experiences and learning along the way.
Every week, we dive into real conversations about what it takes to build and nurture meaningful connections in our lives.
So let's dive in together and see where this love-filled journey takes us, no matter what kind of relationship you're navigating.
Thanks for tuning in to Love and Dialogue. Let's get started. Welcome back to Love and Dialogue with your host, Tristan, and the lovely
Breanna.
What do we got for the folks today?
Alrighty, so we are back with another topic and another guest joining us. Today we have the lovely Dr. Lavanya Douglas
Put some
joining us.
respect on it.
Hi guys, I'm so super excited to be here.
Alrighty, so we have Lavanya joining us today because I don't know if you've ever had Lavanya grace your presence, you know that Lavanya is very passionate about life and living and all the things. So we have her here today to talk about that passion, where she's at now, what she's doing, how she got there, and just learn a little bit more about her current lifestyle that I hope to one day have.
Yes.
Alrighty, Lavanya. So let's start off with just an overview of what is life for you right now? What are you doing?
Oh my God. So life for me is like a journey. And you know how some people say um just be led by the day, right? Like don't make plans or make plans, but be flexible. And I feel like that is my life right now. Like I'll have a plan and then something will happen that doesn't work out. So I automatically think, okay, well, there's a better plan because that didn't work out. So I'll just wait to see what fills that spot, or I'll wait to see where I'm supposed to go. And so like 2025 is like when it really started to happen. Like I felt like I was like playing with it in 2024. And then 2025, I don't know what happened, but it just like it like took off. All the things that I had been thinking and wanting and tried to do in 2023, 2024, 2025 is like I'm actually like living the things that I said that I wanted to do like 2 years ago. So yeah.
So like you developed a game plan and now it's like all coming into fruition?
So I don't know that it was so much a game plan as much as I wrote it down. Like I wrote the vision of how I wanted my life to be, and things just started to kind of fall into place. Not that I didn't do work or I didn't do things at the same time as like the things were coming to pass, or I was doing work towards whatever some of those things were. But some of the stuff just happened, or I just met the person that helped me do the thing. So because it's so much. So I really like I think well as we go through the conversation, like I could be a little bit more specific, but I'm like living the dream right now. My dream.
Right on.
Yes.
Right on.
So yeah.
Yeah. I think what I hear from you mostly is intentionality. Like you created not necessarily a plan or a blueprint, but like you decided that when you wrote these things down, that this is how you're going to live your life. And it wasn't
Yeah.
an option at that point. You know what I mean?
No.
And which I think is hard, right? I think we all kind of want to have the plan and the dreams and the goals. And I think we spend so much time creating the plans and the dreams and the goals, but then like the actual steps and the action like driven items don't necessarily follow as easy because we are, like you said, still working, still living, still doing like where we are currently. So it's hard to transition to that.
Like, can you take us like inside your lens on the mindset that took you to get to that point? I'm curious about that. Like there's like the strategic, everything static. You got the basic 9 to 5, and then you strategize to where you are right now. Like, could you take us through like a mindset? Like, where did that shift come in?
So I saw this video by Steve Harvey, and it said, write 300 things that you're believing God for and read them out. What does it out loud? But read them every morning and every night. And so I'm a visionary. I have a really big imagination. So for me, that was fun. I send it to all my friends now. I send it to people that like 300 things. That's too much. That's too much. So as of today, I have 365. Right.
Oh wow.
Right.
Wow.
So in October of 2023, because I write the dates down, and when I add things, I also write the date that I added it.
Okay.
So October 23rd, 2023 is when I started my list. I finished it, I think, November 4th. It took me 2 weeks to finish it. And like I just started having imagining things. What do I want? What don't I want? What do I like? What don't I like? And all the things haven't happened, but as of today, I would say out of the 365 things that are on there, 70 of them have happened. And it's
Wow.
not
Wow.
all like tangible things.
Yeah.
Like one of the things is like laugh hard every day, right? Like they say laughter is good for the soul. So if I'm laughing every day, that means my soul is happy, right? So it's like be around people that value me, right? So it's not like all like I want a car. No, that's on there too. Okay, like let's be clear. But there's like some things that's like have a peace of mind. Um, Recognize distractions immediately. Anyone that means harm for me, remove them from my life. So there are some like really things that I can't control necessarily, or even bring to pass. But like I say now that I live in this bubble, and anyone that comes into my bubble, if there's negativity or negative speaking, or they're speaking negative over me, like you have to go. And I don't even tell them they have to go. I just don't go around you. I don't call you. I don't text you
Yeah.
because they're not even going to be able to fathom what I'm saying, right? And because
Yeah.
Yeah.
they don't get what I'm saying. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, she thinks she's better than everybody else. And I was like, no, you are disturbing my peace.
Yeah.
I feel that.
And when my peace is disturbed, I can't think creatively. I can't just like naturally like help people like I want to because there's an oppression that's happening. And so if I feel oppressed, I can't be my best self. So you can't be around me. And
Yeah.
if you say things like, so I had told someone the other weekend about my list, a family member. And he was like, well, that's too many things. You need to just have 10 things that you focus on. You need to have a strategic plan. You need to do this, you need to do that. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting concept. I didn't disagree. I didn't say, I didn't
Yeah.
argue the point that no, my 360 things, 5 things are going to come to pass. I'm like, they're going to come to pass. And I can show you better than I can tell you. So I'm not spending time arguing with you. So I also started reading. And so there's 2 books that I like. I even have book clubs for these books because it forces me to stay connected to these books. So
Yeah.
one is called Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life by Bob Proctor. And the other one is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And so they're
Okay.
all like mindset books. They're all like talking about who you're around. They're talking, but it's not like you just manifest your life just by the words you say. No, there's still action behind. So even in like Think and Grow Rich, it's like you have to have specialized knowledge in something to be able to make money. You
Yeah.
also have to give stuff away. So freely you give, freely you receive. So there's all these like small nuggets in all the books, but it shifts the way that we see the world sometimes because a lot of people are selfishly motivated. So even when I'm talking to people and they're like, so you just want me to give my free time away? Yes. Yes, I do. Right?
Give
Like,
and
so
take
like
as
right
you will.
now, I'm giving away, there's this 2-year leadership program that I'm doing for a correctional association. And it's like, one, it gives me practice but it also like gets my name out there. Like I revised it like 3 times. This is our 3rd cohort coming up. And I'm giving it away. Now I have people that are helping as volunteer, but this is something that I plan to sell for like $200,000. But right now I'm giving it away for free because it's helping somebody else,
Mhm.
right? I'm also learning in the process. So a lot of times we're like, oh no, you're gonna pay me for my time. Oh, they will. But first, what are you giving away? How are you giving back to the people that have given to you? So I think I just said a lot. I don't even know if I answered your question,
No, you
but
did. But you dropped some good dimes and nuggets there. You know, you talked about more of see that selfish piece there. I love that because a lot of folks they want to give and expect something in return. Sometimes you have to give and then the return will come as time comes along. But you're also talking about as you're giving, you're also sharpening your craft. So when that time does come to receive the dollars or the monetary that you expect, you will be at your top. So like you're still growing even in those phases. You know, that's powerful.
It's an investment. You're
Yep.
investing in yourself right now. And I think that's again, that's the piece. We all want the glory, the end result.
That
But the
instant
word
gratification.
and I mean we live in a world of instant gratification now. Like everything comes fast. We, this anyways, we aren't going to go down that rabbit hole of the kiddos, but being in that world, I see just we're impatient. You know what I mean? And I think when you are working on who you want to be and what you want for yourself, there has to be a level of patience that comes with that, intentionality and investment in yourself. And like you're doing all of that. So my question for you is what, so you've got, I don't know, 300, almost 400 things now on this list. You have 70 things that you've accomplished so far. What is the thing that you are most proud of your accomplishments?
Leaving my job.
Yeah.
So one of the things on the list that I wrote on October 23rd, 2023, was to not have an office to report to.
Mm.
So a year later, 2 days before, October 21st, 2024, I left my job. And I love my job. But, a lot of times things happen that push you out. And so I would not be doing what I'm doing now had I stayed at that job. I woke up one morning, I was in Houston because I went to Houston to get my nails done. And I was on the social media and people were like just posting about how they had to go back in the office every day and how like they had to deal with the P in Union Station and the delayed metros. And I'm just like laying in bed. I'm like, I'm just so grateful for where I am now because I feel like I love the work that I do. I'm enjoying it. And I get to travel just because and still work. But like, they're so unhappy. This didn't just fall in my lap, right?
Yeah.
Like I had to work for this. Like I feel like I was in school for the last 10 years, right? And I'm still in school now. Like I don't know why I do these things to myself. Anyway, but
Wait, what?
I had to work for all the things that I'm doing. Like I had to remove people from my life. I had to
Mhm.
reevaluate my friendships. I had to reevaluate, and that's hard. And people's feelings get hurt in the process because they're like, "What did I do to you?" Nothing. Your mindset is just not where I want to go. And so I remember I was telling somebody about the book, and I was like, "You should really read this book because our mindset needs to shift." Like, and so they're like, "There's nothing wrong with my mindset," and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, "Okay, well, I guess I can't talk to you anymore about all these things that I want to do." And they didn't do anything. They're just comfortable where they are. I'm not comfortable where I am. There's like so much more that I want to do, but leaving my job and like taking that leap of faith, like I had 3 more years before I could retire. And somebody was like, "You can't just fight it out 3 more years. Fight? You want to fight for 3 more years? Why would I do that?" They're like, "You can have a
Yeah.
paycheck. You can have a paycheck coming every month. You can have a health insurance." I'm like, all those things are wonderful, but is my mental health worth a paycheck?
Mhm.
No. Is being treated badly every day worth a paycheck? No. Like I took as much abuse as I can. And I
Mhm.
call it abuse because it is. And people say you not strong enough for it. Like that was the thing that they were saying as I was leaving. She can't handle it. Do you know who I am? I can't handle it. Oh God. Um, so I didn't even say anything to the people. I just quietly left. People were sending me text messages. I didn't even know you left. Like, why didn't you tell me? Call because most people send like an
Yeah.
angry email or email
Yeah.
saying bye. I just quietly went and then
Off into the night.
Yeah,
on to the
office
night.
midnight.
Y'all will see me. You will see me. You might not get that email, but I promise you're gonna see me. Just
Yeah.
wait. So yeah,
Fair enough.
I
I
think that
love
was.
it.
No, that's amazing. I mean, and I just hear so much like power and passion in like the decisions that you're making right now. And I don't know. Like I said, I always tell you, I mean, first of all, I have to start off with where are you in the world before I like even move forward with the conversation. So tell us a little bit about where you are now. What are you doing, Lavanya?
So like at this moment, I'm currently in Boston.
Okay.
So I teach at a school in Boston, and so they had their residency this weekend. And so I have two doctoral students that are doing, it's called Unregulated Leadership. So we always do a live podcast at the school. So we
Mhm.
did the podcast at the school yesterday. And so I am here for the week because on Friday I leave to go to Martha's Vineyard for the weekend. And Boston is just close. So I just decided to stay here and then go there. And then I'll come back. and then I'll go to Atlanta for work, and I'll come back. And then I have all these events planned for my birthday, so I'll do that. And then I'll go to Orlando because one of the students that's doing the podcast, she lives in Orlando, so we're going to try to interview some people at like Universal Studios that are in leadership positions, right? We're just going to randomly try to find some people. And she also has some people already planned out, but you
Okay.
know, we're also going to just try to like bombard people like, hey, can we ask you some questions? And so I'll be in Orlando, and then I'm not sure where I'm going after that. I am going to Nigeria in May for 2 weeks because I want to do some leadership conferences and training there. So I'm going to try to go network and meet some strangers and see what we can do. I was in Belize for 2 weeks, and I took a break. So I went to Belize for a week,
Told you.
and then I went to New York because I had to see Wicked on
Yeah.
Broadway, and then I flew
Oh,
back to Belize, and then I was there for another week. So
You're
yeah,
just going. You know, that's I mean, honestly,
listen.
remarkable.
So
Like,
I was
did you
sitting
always have
at
this vision?
Well, I wanted to be a nomad. Like I was a nomad, a fake nomad. And what was that, 2020 during COVID? Because
2020. I remember this conversation very vividly. You're like, I'm gonna be a nomad. I'm not gonna have a home, and it's gonna be fine. And I was like, tell me more, Lavanya, please.
people are more concerned for me than I am for myself. Like 'cause if I told you this the Belize story, like you would be like, stop it. And so the more I tell the story, people like, you weren't scared that they were gonna like pick you up and take out your organs. And I was like, no, why would anyone think that? But because my mindset is like all on, and I think there's balance, right? There's balance. I'm not gonna get in the car with a stranger at nighttime. It was daytime, right? It was daytime. And I was walking down this dirt road and I had to, because having a driver is on my list. And so I was like, oh my God, it'd be so great to have a driver right now. Literally 3 seconds later, this Lincoln Navigator pulls out. I'm like, do you guys need a ride? Yes. Yes, we do. We got in the car. And when we got in the car, I was like, we was like, so what do you do? He was like, well, I'm a VIP transportation. And I was like, well, can you be our transportation for the rest of the time that we're here? And he was like, sure. I mean, we had to pay him. But and it was listen, so yeah,
Like faith is just matching you and meeting you in
I'm
line and like,
telling
I want to
you.
go do this, and it's like we got you.
Yeah.
We stayed on a private island for the first week, half price because the lady that I went with, mind you, I just met her in January, right? And she was like, I want to go to Belize, and I said, I want to go, and she said, okay.
Just right then and there.
I invite myself on trips, and so we stayed on this private island. And because she like is like an influencer, she takes pictures and posts. We got it was like a two bedroom, two bath condo, oceanfront. And my part was $60 a night for 4 nights.
Oh wow.
What?
So then when I got back from New York, we were going to stay in this Airbnb. It wound up being double booked, so we couldn't stay there. And literally, while we were waiting, we had met this guy. He was telling us about his property, and we wound up staying there for 4 nights, oceanfront.
That's nice.
Like I sat outside every morning. I mean, all day doing my work. Then we would go, you know, do sightseeing on the island or whatever. Then that location flooded. And so he was like, well, there's a really nice place up the street. But mind you, so the place that we stayed was oceanfront,
Mhm.
but it was one room. It still had a kitchen. It was, it was a bed and then there was like a cot. So it wasn't like the best, but it was like, we're oceanfront. We will take it. Right.
Yeah.
And so, and even the price that it was for, he like reduced the price like ridiculously. It was like less than $700 for the 7 days that we were there. Right. So on my list that I had, I added, right? I said, okay, I need to be more specific, clearly. Okay. So I was like, I need my own room, my own bathroom. I need a king size bed and I need air because it didn't have air, but the air from the ocean was good enough
Okay.
until I got bit up. My whole face when I woke
Oh,
up the next morning was like swollen. I'll send you a picture, Brianna. Um, and so I was like, I need to be more specific. And so I was
yeah.
more specific that night. So I need air, I need my own room, I need my own bathroom. And but we were still satisfied. We was like,
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
You made it work.
Yeah.
We made it work. So then we wake up in piles of water. And so the guy's like, I'm so sorry. We'll see if we can find you somewhere else to stay. Or you can stay here. We just won't charge you for remaining nights. And so the owner of the resort, because it's a small, only has like 8 rooms, came and saw. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Well, we never actually charged a card. So we're not going to charge you to stay for these 4 nights.
Oh wow.
But my, but mind you,
Blessing.
before we even figured out we was going to stay, the week before, the girl that I was with,
Yeah,
because she also has the same mindset that I have, and she like speaks things and
clearly.
they happen. And so she was like, we don't want to pay over $700, and we want oceanfront. This is before we even found this place. So we was like, oh, we manifested this place, right? And so then we
Mhm.
had to be more specific. And then so he finds the place. They were sold out, and I was like, well, can you just call to see? Because sometimes they're sold out and they have space. They was like, they have one more room. So the same VIP transportation picks us up,
Yeah.
takes us to this new place. It was a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, beachfront little place, and it had air.
Oh wow.
And the price was 702. So we're like, okay, $2 over. But then because she's an influencer, she was like, I can't give you anything off the room, but I can give you 2 free massages, which was worth $120. So if you think about it, it was even less than what we would have, right? And
Mhm.
so full kitchen. I mean, it was just gorgeous. It
Yeah.
was, yeah. So yeah. So that just happened like 2 weeks ago.
That's
And then
exactly.
from there, I flew to Houston because I had to go to be in Atlanta the week before. And I needed somewhere that I can just be direct and be in the States, be back in the States so that I didn't have any issues getting to Atlanta that Tuesday. So I flew out of Belize on Sunday and stayed in Houston. And then I just Googled a nail salon. And there was this beautiful spa. They rubbed my feet with oranges and wrapped it in cucumber.
That's crazy.
Like, I
It's like a
mean,
fairy tale.
Tell you.
listen. And the place was all, it was pink, it had flowers. So when people were like, where'd you go to Houston for? To get my nails done. I had to get my nails done. And
Yeah.
then I flew to Atlanta.
It's about the experience. I mean, your experiences, I mean, you already wrote a book, but I hope you write another one about these experiences specifically because, like, one, we already know Lavanya is a fantastic storyteller. So there's that. But also, it's also your real life. Like, this is
Yeah.
not just like things you're making up out of thin air. These are your real life
No.
experiences. But it's also because of how you show up. And, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, again, I've known you, what, I don't, oh my gosh, like over 10 years now, which is
Yeah.
crazy to even think about. But like, I just think, and again, for those who don't know, Lavanya and I did our master's program together, and I will never forget. We won't go down the triathlon story, but that's literally how I was introduced to this woman. Is like we're in our first counseling theories 101 class, and she's telling a story about how she did a triathlon. Go check out her page because you'll see all the things and all the stories. But what I am trying to say is that like your intentionality and how you're showing up and your passion for life is just like I think all of these things, like how Tristan was describing, are being gravitated towards you because of your
Mhm.
energy, right?
Mhm.
And I feel like you have to be, I mean, Lavanya is a super flexible person, right? And I imagine that being that flexible, like, has its ups and maybe sometimes has its downs. I know you don't focus on the downs, but what would you say, like, are some challenges that you've run into? I know the people have been an issue, but any other challenges that you've run into in trying to, like, live this flexible
Mhm.
life? Like, no boundaries?
I think the hardest challenge is having, like I still have a job,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's still a 9 to 5 job. So
Okay.
like last week I decided I only want to work, like have meetings like 4 hours a day. Right? Whatever time zone that's in, but the same in this block of time. So then I can just do whatever I want to do. And I'll still probably do work related stuff, but I might record podcasts, I might
Mm-hmm.
interview people on the street, I might just sit by the ocean and write a book or something, right? But I want to be able to do what I want to do. And but
Yeah.
I know people need me. So you get 4 hours. You get 4 hours a day. And so I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet
Okay.
because I still have a 9 to 5 job. We have meetings all day. And because we don't have an office, everybody works from all over. Like the only way that we can work on projects or do things is in meetings. So I'm legit like in meetings all day.
Okay.
But last week I was in Virginia Beach because my grandmother turned 94. So we had a birthday party for, well, it wasn't really a party. We had a photo shoot where we did like cowboy theme, like everyone had on cowboy hats and boots or whatever. And so that was fun. But I stayed in the embassy suites on Virginia Beach, overlooking the ocean. So every morning I wake up, I hear the ocean. Every night, I would hear the ocean. So sitting in front of the ocean working like that
Yeah.
was fine. I was fine being in front of the computer all day because the atmosphere was just amazing. And my watch was like, I got average of 7 hours and 47 minutes of sleep every night while I
Wow.
was there. So like even the peaceful sleep. I mean, so as things happen, it's like, okay, this is what I want this. I want that. I want this. I want that. So even on my list, I have legit probably 150 things in what I want in a spouse and my husband. Legit 150 things. And so it's like, well, have you seen that? It's like, no, but I know what I don't want. And because I know what I don't want, I'm very specific about what I do want. So even last night, we were at dinner and they were talking about how like only 10% of people find their person. And I was like, well, I'm going to be that 10%. And they're like, it's not realistic. Have you met him yet? And I was like, no, but I have unshakable faith that it's going to happen. And
Mhm.
I will introduce you to him as soon as I find him or he finds me. Right. And so it's like, just have I seen it? No, but I believe it can happen. Just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean it can't happen. And if I stay, like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I was in Belize. I didn't know I was going to Belize for 2 weeks at the beginning of the year, and then I was, and all this great stuff happened while I was there.
Mhm.
Um. So yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, you're applying it all to all aspects of your life, which I think again is amazing because I think we, like you said, you're running into all these people who are like, this is not possible, or what are you talking about? You're living in a fairy tale world or whatever. But
Hmm.
you're setting up your space to have all of these things come to you. And I think even how you reframed your last statement about, oh, when I find my husband, and then he said, when he finds me, you know what I mean? And so I think again, it's like your goal is to put yourself in spaces that feel good, and then good things happen and come to follow that. We talk a lot of on this podcast about like love and finding love and all that kind of stuff and what that looks like and balancing not just finding it but also the work that comes into that. So,
Hmm.
when you are picturing this future husband and spouse and love and life, like how are you going to integrate your current life with that? Like, what does that look like for you? Or what are your hopes for that? Is what I said.
So okay, great question. Because I do believe that whoever he is will we will align, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to have stable residences, right?
Okay.
So I think in August I'll find my first place and then I'll find my next place and my next place and my next place. So what we'll do is we'll travel together.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so it's not like I'm gonna be just doing all this traveling. It's like we're gonna do business together. We're gonna do ministry together. We're gonna have fun together. Like we're gonna do life together. And there's a lot
Yeah.
of people that just cohabitate, but they're not doing anything together. And because
Mm-hmm.
I'm very clear on what I want to do with my husband, I want to do all things. So we're gonna do all things together. We're gonna like I have no doubt that like so even when I meet people, it's like, oh no, I don't see how I add contribute to your life or how you contribute to mine.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we could be friends. Like it's like very quick. Like
Yeah.
you don't even waste your time. I won't say waste your time, but you don't even entertain things that I know that I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want that.
Yeah.
And I'm happy now. So if I'm going to bring somebody else, it's something like you're going to enhance what I already have. I'm not going to have to compromise things that I really want because you don't want that. Like they will align.
Yeah.
And now, would that be very direct right off the bat as you guys are meeting, or is that like down the line as things is going on? Like, are you coming up front and say, "Hey, this is what I'm doing. Either you're with it or you got to go."
No, I one of the skills that we talk about in like therapy or whatever is active listening. So I listen very well. I
Mm-hmm.
don't normally say anything. So I spend a whole lot of time now listening. And you could give off the energy of you're interested or not, right? And so I
Mm-hmm.
think I might just slowly give off the energy that I'm not interested just based off of what you're saying. Because if I tell you what I want, you're going to accommodate what I want because you want to be with me. And it's like, no, 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 what do you want? Because you have to be happy too. So if you're accommodating all the things that I want, then you're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Right. And we both need to be happy, even in friendships. Right. Even in friendships, it's like that's another, I think, challenge that I've been facing recently is like, who can go with me to where I want to go? and everybody cannot. And so that's sad, right? And it's like sometimes it can be lonely because it's like I'm by myself. And everyone's like, that's just Lavanya doing her crazy thing, but nobody necessarily wants to do the crazy thing with me. Right. And so that's one of the challenges too. But no, like I just listen. I listen to what people say, I listen to people's energy. Like I have a strong personality. And it's okay for you to have a strong personality too, but you have to be able to listen, right? Like if you're talking over everybody at the table, like if you're the smartest person in the room and every time someone has something to say, you have the answer, like that would drive me crazy because we're not learning from each other because you're already the smartest person in the room. So we can't learn from each other. Yeah. So it's like small stuff like that I pay attention to more than just like what you look like, how tall you are. Like those things are nice, but like they're not lifelong. Because I'm gonna live to be 115. So he has to live long too. So we're like, we have a long way to go. So yeah.
Super powerful.
No, I love it. You know anything. Like anytime I catch up with Lavanya, I just love hearing all the things that life is bringing you. And like I just again, your energy is something that I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to be around because I can't any person I introduce you to in my life is like, we love Lavanya. And I'm like, thank you, because I love Lavanya, you know? And so I just feel like I said, I just love that you love yourself as well, which is I think is the biggest thing that I see is like you've invested in yourself and who you are, and you show up as Lavanya every time, no matter the space. And I think that's something that people need. It's an art. You have to learn how to do that. Like that's not easy work to do. And not to say that you're perfect. No, none of us are perfect. We're all continuing to work, but you're again investing in yourself and wanting to grow. And I think that is going to show up on whoever your partner is, right? Again, that same space is going to be there if you guys continuing to grow together. And that's something that we talk about a lot in our relationship is just like, you know, always wanting to grow and figuring out what that looks like for us. And it's like, well, this is our right now, but this is not our forever, you know? And I think when you live with that, it makes it life harder, I would say, in the sense of like you're always wanting to go and grow and things like that, and you want things now, but it's also gonna pay off. You know, 115. I don't know about that, Lavanya. I'm down. I like, you know, 115 sounds good, and you know, if you are, first of all, your grandma like 94 looks amazing. So if that's what your future looks like, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. No, it's like sometimes like just listening to you just speak, you know, it's like sometimes I see a lot of that within myself and within ourselves. So, you know, it's like to see what the trajectory, the road looks like. You know, my thing that people always say me like, "What are you doing now? What degree you getting now?" You know, me, I'm just like one of those people. I just want to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. You know, and it's all in successful, positive mindset stuff. So like, it's been great just hearing, you know, your journey, how you got to where you are, the things that you're doing, giving back. You know, I feel great that you know I've been in front of two leaders. You're teaching leaders at the highest level. You are a leader throughout your organization, and I'm an aspiring leader. So just to be and just hear how you guys are going about your journeys, you know, that gives me, you know, my focus to keep me going straight on that road. So, you know, I love it.
Well, all right then. All right, Lavanya. Well, we could sit here and talk for hours, as we know, but you know, all good things come to an end. I appreciate you coming and joining us here today on Love and Dialogue.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. This is fun.
Yet again, we are.
Comment, like, share, and we'll keep bringing stuff back to you guys. Thank you.
Take care.